And Thom Hofrichter, Artistic Director of First Presbyterian Theater. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Tell us about your season coming up 2013-14.
I'm less excited than terrified. It's like all the work starts again.
Yeah, that's right.
We have a wonderful season coming up. We start with in some ways like Lauren, we tend to choose literature that somehow speaks to the human soul. I mean, Stanislavski, the great acting teacher, said the job of the actor was to bring to the stage the life of the human soul.
Right, the human condition.
And so as a church, and First Presbyterian Theater is First Presbyterian Church. We're not a group that works inside the church. We are the church.
Right.
So we try to pick plays that somehow speak to the human soul about how we deal with one another in our day-to-day life and how we deal with that thing we call God, that thing that that Thornton Wilder in your play this year, Our Town, said everybody down deep feels there's something eternal. So anyway, that being said, we start out with this ridiculous comedy that has like no spiritual value at all, but my gosh, is it funny.
There's nothing wrong with entertainment and the human spirit.
Yes, absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that.
Laughter is ridiculous.
Fox on the Fairway is a farce about golf. So if you like golf, if you like to laugh, it's hysterical.
There's a lot of golfers who will come to the theater in September.
And Chris Murphy is one of the best at putting together comedies. And he's got a great cast. Todd Freimeyer, who's playing Valjean in Les Mis, who I'm sure Philip will be talking about later, and just an incredible cast. So laugh, laugh, laugh. And we're doing a benefit the first weekend. I found a show called The Flattering Word from 1914 about a minister and his wife, and the wife has a friend who's an actor who's coming, and the minister's very much against theater.
Really?
Yeah, and so our minister and his wife, who's also a minister, and who are running the show, they're playing the minister and his wife.
I think they've maybe joined you 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
About a year and a half.
Oh, really? That? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Young folks are terrific.
Yeah, they were very supportive of Virginia Woolf.
They will be making their debut on stage at a benefit September 8th, so everybody should come see that.
Terrific. And the rest of your season?
Then we get into the more meaty stuff. Mrs. Packard is a play by Emily Mann. Emily Mann's a docudramatist. She took this story from 1861 to 1865, real-life person Emily Mann, I'm sorry, Mrs. Packard, whose husband was a Presbyterian minister. She started disagreeing with some of his doctrines, so he had her put in an insane asylum.
Oh, my Lord. Wow.
And it is the 4 years she spent in the insane asylum, all the time sneaking little notes, and once she finally got a trial, she actually got released, and she wrote books and crusaded to change the way mentally ill people were treated, and I mean, she paid a price, though, for having a belief.
I like that both of you are taking a real story that's been turned into drama, and you both have something in your season like that.
It's a beautiful play.
And after that,
then Christmas time comes, so this year we're putting a review on, which we're in the midst of writing, the FPT Christmas Review. Jack Canty, who was actually named the top English major at IPFW last year.
Jack, he's terrific.
He's writing sketches, and there'll be music, both whimsical, secular, and spiritual. We guarantee that you'll laugh, and also that we'll put you in the holiday spirit.
They're all original sketches, then?
The sketches are all original,
Great.
And we're in our fourth draft right now, so it's not completely set yet, but I'm really itching to get after that one because we're going to have a lot of fun.
And the end of your season, the last couple of shows?
Then we have three more that basically, in January, we visit Driving Miss Daisy, which is a contemporary classic. It's 25 years old this year. And Kate Black, a local favorite, who's a dynamic actress who you directed in Virginia Woolf.
In several things,
but Jono directed myself as George and Kate as Martha in Virginia Woolf, but she'll be playing Daisy. And I reread that show again about 6 months ago and went, I want to take a look at this again. It's one of those deceptively simple plays that is just so powerful about how we see one another and the judgments we make based on the color of our skin, the churches we go to, the clothes we wear, the money that's in our pocket. It's a beautiful little play.
And the spring offerings are what?
Then we come into our classic period, Othello. We try to do Shakespeare every year.
Every year. I love that.
And actually I'm working on that too, another great play about how simple it is for somebody to sneak evil into the world. I mean, Iago is such a brilliant.
I directed that professionally, and it might be called Othello, but it should be called Iago because it's an incredible undertaking.
Well, and Iago's just, he's a study in how we get manipulated, and yeah, it's a brilliant play. So I'm excited about that. And then we close out with Shaw's a Misalliance, which about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, I saw it at the Shaw Festival. And fall down funny.
Can you tell us how to get tickets to this great season?
Probably the best way to find out about us is the easiest thing to remember is go to firstpresbyteriantheater.com. I see it's up on the screen. That's the easiest way to remember, theater ER, but firstpresbyteriantheater.com, and you can get our numbers and you can buy tickets there. You can do everything, or if you want to try to remember that phone number, it's 422-6329.